People do not come to this world with equal fortunes. There are those who are born poor, sick, or into a broken family. Many of these people will live in misery throughout their lives, and perhaps they will pass it on to their children. Some of them may end up in prison, a mental institution, or commit suicide. They spend their days and their last hours were cursing the world because, in their opinion, it was not fair to them, and perhaps they were right. In reality, we do not choose how we come to this life, but we never lack the right to choose, as we can always, with a little effort and will, transform our misery to happiness, and our failure to success, just as the heroes of our story did, who came to this world with the worst disabilities and deformities we can imagine, and were exposed to discrimination and ridicule from an early age, but they never gave up on despair, but rather did everything in their power to live normally like others. Even better than them. Let us begin our story with Josephine Myrtle Corbin, that girl who was born in 1868 in the American state of Tennessee, and who became the talk of the people from the hour of her birth, because she had 4 legs. Yes, dear reader, the heroine of our story has 4 legs and 2 pelvis, and in each pelvis there is a complete reproductive system separate from the other. It is a very rare medical condition, called double pelvic malformation, dipygus, and it occurs during the development of the fetus in its mother's womb, where the lower part of the fetus's torso is divided into 2 separate parts as a result of the presence of an incompletely developed twin, meaning that the child has 2 complete pelvises separate from each other, each pelvis in it. A pair of legs, one of which, the inner one, is short and weak, while the other, the outer one, is long and strong. Therefore, a child born with this condition may be able to walk, with difficulty of course, using the long legs of each pair. People may not notice his extra legs, as in the case of Josephine, because they remained hidden under her long dress, knowing that Josephine could move her short legs, but she was too weak to use them for walking. Josephine's case, as we mentioned above, is one of the rare and unique cases, and the child in her condition is often born dead, and the mother may have died as well. But Josephine came to this world with ease and smoothness, and she loved life since she first saw the light. Those who knew her in her childhood described her as a kind, intelligent, and very happy child. Because people at that time did not mind exploiting human deformities in order to make money, that is why Josephine quickly found her way to circus performances from an early age. Her parents inevitably saw in her 4 legs an unmissable opportunity to make money, and indeed her fame quickly spread and she achieved wide fame, and so began people flock from all directions to see the wondrous girl who became known as the Four-Legged Girl from Texas. Josephine's performances were so successful that she began earning $450 a week, a huge sum by the standards of those days. Josephine's work in the circus did not last long, as at the age of 19 she married her brother-in-law, Dr. James Bucknell. Fortunately for her, the man really loved her and was not greedy to make profits from her 4 legs, so he insisted that she leave her job in circus shows, so she complied with his desire and became a housewife, and later gave birth to 5 children. It is said that she gave birth to 3 of them through her right pelvis, while the other 2 came from her left pelvis. Josephine's condition was carefully documented by doctors who examined her repeatedly during her life. She lived a long time until her leg became afflicted with a skin disease, the worsening of which led to her death in 1928. Although Josephine's case is rare, she was not the only one who gained widespread fame in the world of circus and entertainment shows due to the presence of extra legs. There is another documented case of a boy born on the island of Sicily in 1889, named Frank Lentini. Frank was famous among people as the 3-legged man, because he had an extra leg. What was strange about his condition was that each of his 3 legs was different from the other in terms of length and size. The strangest thing is that he had 2 complete penises with which he could have sex together or one after the other. Lentini's case was similar to Josephine's case. The extra leg attached to his body belonged to his twin brother, who had not fully developed, which is an anomalous case of conjoined twins. But unlike Josephine, Lentini was not happy in his childhood. He hated his 3rd leg very much. Also, his family life was not easy. He had 12 brothers and a sister, and his poor parents rejected him because of his deformity, so his aunt took care of his upbringing and placed him in a special shelter for the disabled. There in the shelter, Lentini saw cases of deformity and disability that were much more severe than his own. He saw people unable to walk or move at all. He gradually began to accept what he was, and began to open up to life. Not only did he learn to walk, but he began running, riding bicycles, and practicing jumping rope. And even ice skating.